Hey, what's up guys? This is Nick from Part-Time Pilot. Today we're going to talk about pilot documents, what you have to have with you as a student pilot or a private pilot. It's going to be a quick video, so let's get to it. Okay, so there's 3 documents that you have to have on you as a student pilot or a private pilot, and then some of them we'll talk about some variations. The first one is your pilot certificate. So pilot cert. And now this could be a student pilot certificate or private pilot, commercial pilot, whatever you have. Now, if you're a student pilot, let's assume you're a student pilot, and you are wanting to fly into Class B, you would have to have your student pilot plus a Class B endorsement in your logbook. So that's pilot cert will have variations. But for a student pilot, usually it's just your student pilot certificate. They used to expire, they no longer expire. So once you have them, you're good to go. But the next thing does expire, and that's gonna be your medical certificate. All right, so your medical certificate, depending on your age, is going to expire. And this is going to be for a private pilot license, you need a 3rd class medical certificate. Okay, and that has to be valid, it has to be up to date, and if you're above the age of 40, then it lasts for 2 years or 24 calendar months. If you're below the age of 40, it lasts for 5 years or 60 calendar months. And then there's also Med Express, which is a new program. We'll get into that in a different video, what that does, but it's a little bit different requirements. But just generally, you're gonna need, so for your pilot cert, your medical cert, and then 3rd is you're gonna need a valid US photo ID. Now the photo ID, you might ask, well, what makes that valid? Well, the FAA will define what is valid. Usually it's like a driver's license, a passport, a military ID, or something of that nature. And if you just type in Google FAA valid IDs, it's gonna pop up. There's gonna be a PDF, and it's gonna tell you exactly, what is a valid ID. Even if you're an international student, and you have a visa and you're studying here, it's gonna tell you what is valid for you. So these are the 3 documents. So if you're a student pilot, you gotta have your student pilot cert, you gotta have a valid 3rd class medical cert, and then you gotta have a valid photo ID. Okay, so a couple more things that I wanna talk about that may come up on your Checkride Oral exam or on an FAA written, and that is change of address. Now, you're required to notify the FAA Airman Cert Branch within 30 days of your address change, okay? So if you change your address and you don't notify anybody, the FAA Airman Cert Branch, for 30 days, your private pilot or student pilot cert becomes void, okay? So change of address, you get 30 days to notify the Airman Cert Branch. The next thing I want to talk about is who enforces this. Who enforces that you are carrying these documents? So enforcement. So you are required to show these documents, to show your student or private pilot cert and your medical cert to the following people. One is an administrator, FAA. One is the administrator as part of the FAA. 2 is law enforcement. And that's federal, state, or local. And then 3 is the NTSB, which is the National Transportation Safety Board. So who can enforce this? Administrator of the FAA, law enforcement, or the NTSB. So if anyone else, owner of a flight school, asks you to do this, you do not have to show them your documentation. It has to be one of these 3 people. So hope you guys liked the video. If you have any questions, be sure to comment below. Let me know if you guys have ever had, I'm curious to know if anyone has ever had to show their pilot documents. I've never had to. Just curious if anyone has gotten ramp checked who's watching this video. If you have, comment below and let's hear your story. Thanks, guys.